Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to tackle a common issue that many Next.js developers face when working with MUI. The hydration failed because the server rendered HTML that didn't match the client. If you're using MUI's text field component and seeing this error, stick around. I'll show you what's happening and how to fix it. Let's get into it. So here's a situation. You might have been building your application using MUI components, specifically text fields. Like for example, here I am creating a custom component called search bar and I'm using text field from MUI. But when I'm running your application, I'm seeing the error hydration failed because the server rendered HTML didn't match the client. As a result, this tree will be regenerated on the client. Now, this can be frustrating because it's actually a pretty simple issue to understand and fix once you know what's going on. Let's first understand what hydration means. Hydration refers to React taking over initial HTML content generated by the server and activating it with the JavaScript logic on the client side. But if the HTML content on the server doesn't match what React expects to find when it rehydrates the page on the client side, it throws this error. Let's go back to the code and see what's happening over here. I'm using a simple text field. Let's save it. Go back to the local host, refresh it, and I see this error. Now, if I run this error, why? Because I'm rendering MUI's text field component directly without wrapping it inside a div or any other container. This results in a mismatch between server rendered HTML and what React expects to see when it tries to hydrate the page. The issue is subtle but happens when MUI uses certain CSS properties or dynamic styling that differs between server-side and client-side render. Now, why does this happen? Well, MUI uses server-side rendering in some cases and applies styles dynamically, which may differ slightly between server and client renders. This means that HTML structure and styles from the server that sends may not match exactly with the ones on the client side when React takes over, causing this hydration issue. For example, if you're using typography component as a wrapper, the default value of the component prop is P. So you'll experience this error if you don't change the component value to something semantic. Fix is pretty straightforward. Just wrap your MUI component inside a container. Here I'm going to wrap it inside div container and then save it. A div or any other container element will ensure that React properly matches the HTML and can correctly hydrate the page. Let's go back and see if the error disappears. I'm going to refresh it and see the error is gone. Everything works smoothly. By wrapping the text field component inside a div, we ensure that the structure stays consistent between server-rendered HTML and the client-side JavaScript. This resolves the hydration error and your app will run smoothly. And that's it. By simply wrapping your MUI component in a container element like a div, you will prevent the hydration error from happening. It's a small change, but it can save you a lot of debugging time. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more React, Next.js and MUI tips. Drop any questions or other issues you have faced in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and happy coding.